Racing to the 2020 Breeders' Cup, and today I wanted to take a deeper dive into the Classic. And yesterday we looked at the top 8 or 9 contenders. Today I wanted to take a look at, I think a lot of times when you cash a ticket or when you see a visually impressive performance, which is kind of some of the qualitative aspects of handicapping, you got to take a look at the quantitative side. Some of the different numbers, a day's rest, and how it impacts the speed figures and the performance of some of the horses. So taking a look here, we have the highest Brisnet speed figures of some of the top contenders in the Classic. Of course, Improbable, the last time out, earned a 108. That matches his career best that he earned a couple of races back. So he's coming in off a pattern of a 108, a 104, and a 108. Meanwhile, you look at Maximum Security. Yeah, he won the 2 races this summer, but he only got a 99 and a 106, winning those 2 Del Mar races, and then a 103. And he's going to have to cycle all the way back to the Kentucky Derby or one of his other better performances to really get close to that 105, 106 number. And I'm not sure he can do that at 10 furlongs. I think that's the key. I think he's always he's a better 10 furlong horse when he's on an uncontested early lead, but when he's actually got to show speed in a longer race, I think his best distance is 8 furlongs to a mile. Now, a horse like Tiz the Law, that Belmont still sticks out, that 115, and then even in the Derby, if you think he regressed a little bit, he got a 103. If you think that's more closer to his speed, well, he's got a 106 back in the Florida Derby, and he had a 108 in the Holy Bull off the layoff. So he has got 3 speed figures that put him right in the mix. And then as we talk about the days away, a horse like Happy Saver, a 104 in his 4th lifetime start, but that's a lot of improvement, a 100 to a 104 from a 96 in his debut. He's compressing all of that into a few races, and then by my standards, 4 straight races near that 100 Brisnet, with his best performance being a 107. Now you do got to look at a horse like Tom's d'Etat, because he's got that 112 sticking out there in the Stephen Foster. So he's capable also right up there with Improbable and maybe Tiz the Law. And I think those are going to be the 3 favorites, probably based on those speed figures. Now, when we look at the days away, this kind of puts more into context how some of those performances were achieved. You look at a horse like Authentic, he had 91 days off, 42 days off, then 49 days going off into the Derby, and he ran that nice speed figure in the Derby, Authentic, of 104. Then he had 28 days off. Now he lost in the Preakness, but officially his Brisnet speed figure went up to a 108. Where a horse like Tiz the Law, look at, he had 56 days off, he had 49 days off, 84 days off. He had those big string of speed figures, but he regressed a little bit. He only had 28 days off going in from the Travers to the Derby, and he may have regressed to that 103 Brisnet speed figure. A horse like Improbable, here's something that's interesting. He went 56 days, 56 days, 56 days between starts in those 3 big victories. And of course, off the Oaklawn race, he was 161 days off the layoff. But that's where he's cranked out that 108, the 104, and the 108. He's going to be sitting on only about 40 days going into the Classic, so a little bit less rest. And then a horse like Tom's d'Etat in the Whitney, yeah, he stumbled in the race, but he had 77 days and 134 days to build up to those big speed figures earlier this summer, and only 35 between the Foster and the Whitney. And he may have been due for a little bit of a regression back down to a 105 or 107 anyway. So kind of some interesting, remember, always take a look at the context of the speed figure in terms of their form cycle, how many days away, and how much of those speed figures, there's only so much improvement you can really have in a short period of time. So you always want to consolidate that speed down. I think the Classic is going to be one of the more interesting races of the year. I think Tom's d'Etat is getting a lot of chatter based on his stumble in the Whitney, but that's more of a trouble that everybody saw. He did kind of go against the race flow. That was more impressive to me, where the race flow was more on the front end. So Improbable probably had a little bit of an inflated Brisnet speed figure out of that race. And then I think also his Circle the Field trip in the Awesome, again, was probably a little bit more inflated based on some of those horses backing up. Now he's going to face a little bit more true speed at 1.25 miles. Just some points to ponder on the Breeders' Cup Classic. Remember, hit subscribe, ring that bell for notifications as we lead you up to the 2020 Breeders' Cup.